Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James and this is Astro Motivation, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little inspiration and motivation per your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and TikTok and this talk and all that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly where our dreams were and how to get them. And so if that sounds good to you, let's get into it. You know, I've been working on my marriage series and my love series, and I want to kind of veer away for a little bit and get back into what got me on this channel, which is the signs and the planets, and really learning and diving deep and dissecting what each of those means so that we have a better relationship with our universe and with the signs and the symbols that come along as a way for us to learn on our journey here on the planet, okay? So with that being said, today I want to get and jumpstart off my, my Planets Through the Signs series, and today we're going to get into all of the planets within the series of, or within the sign of Aries, okay? Now today we're gonna get into Mars in Aries, okay? Now Mars in Aries is going to be a very, very fiery sign, okay? Now no matter where or what house your Mars in Aries is in, this is gonna bring on the fire, okay? This is gonna give me very aggressive, go-getting energy, depending on the house, all right? Depending on the house and depending on what's aspecting, this is just what you can see as a general manifestation of Mars in Aries, okay? And so if you're interested in that, let's go ahead and dial it back and dissect and separate the two aspects. That way, when we see these aspects play out individually in the world, we can go, okay, Jupiter James told me Mars does this, right? And Aries does this. And with those things combined, we can synthesize and articulate and intuit what those things mean within our charts, all right? So Mars in the birth chart. Mars in the birth chart just so happens to be ruled by Aries. But Mars in the birth chart is going to be, whenever I am looking within the birth chart, it's going to show me where the person's actions and motivation and energy is going in this life. Where did the universe sprinkle the action of within your life? Where are you supposed to give action? Where is it that when you give energy and action towards this thing that Mars is pointing to in the house that it's in, where will your energy and action be best utilized, okay? Now Mars also indicates your passion as well, but that will vary and change, but you know, it does mean your passion as well, but that is more of a deeper intuition on that. That is a more deeper layer to what Mars can be, but more so on a more general and basic scale, Mars is always going to indicate the action, the energy, where this person's drive is. And I will always say when I'm reading a birth chart, this is where when a person comes home and is in the bed tired, wherever Mars was in that birth chart, that is what the person is tired from, okay? The person is tired because they did whatever Mars in whatever house it's in, okay? So that is what Mars indicates in the birth chart. Now, moving on to Aries. Aries is the sign of your body. It rules the first house. It rules Mars, funny enough. And so with that being said, this is going to be, Aries is the sign of war, of aggression, of competition, of, like I said, the body, your appearance. And whenever I see Aries within the birth chart, it shows me the body, you know, because that is in and of itself the body. It is also showing me the action, the energy, the motivation, but more so where this person will express their independence or where this person will be seen the most. Where will they be giving their actual energy within the birth chart? But I want to say it's more of the body themselves, their physicality. Where does their actual body, who you are, show up the most? Where does your competitive streak and where you'll find a lot of tension and where you'll find a lot of battles will be within your birth chart, okay? Wherever I look for Aries, I want to see where's this person experiencing the most aggression in his life or her life? Where is this person experiencing the most competition in their life? Where is this person experiencing the most independence in their life? And where also will this person be expressing their bold pioneering spirit in this life? Wherever Aries is in the birth chart, that is what it'll show me. Now, what happens when we take Mars, the planet of your action, your energy, and Aries, the planet of your body and your competitive spirit and your pioneering spirit, and we put them together? What do we get? We get someone whose body more so is going to look very athletic, okay? This person is going to be extremely aggressive. They're going to be an extreme go-getter. And with this sign, because Mars will be at home in Aries, this is a very blessed placement, okay? And it will show that wherever it is in your birth chart with Mars and Aries, you're gonna find that when you give action and energy towards that area of your life, you're going to be someone that you'll get it quickly, you'll compete, you won't mind competing, you'll probably be very blessed within your actions. Your actions make gold, okay? You know how they say you've got the Midas touch? For you, you've got the Midas action, okay? Whenever you act on something, especially within the house theme that Aries and Mars is pointing to, you're gonna find that you get the thing that you want, or that you are able to manifest the thing that you were going after, so to speak, okay? So there's gonna be a lot of competition. You'll probably be someone that is okay with competition. I could see a lot of athletes with this placement. I can see a lot of people who are just, they wake up and they probably don't even need coffee. These are the people who wake up and they are up before the sun is up because they've got so much energy, so much angst, so much like aggression, all right? Of course, like I said, this could also show that this person has a very strong body who can also seek out competition. These people will seek out competition or attract competition, but whether they seek it out or attract it, they will be someone who is comfortable within being competitive. So that's why I say a lot of athletes will have this placement, or because and then it's also very blessed. It will be in them competing and expressing their will that good things happen. Because remember, whenever we have a sign that is, or a planet that is up under the sign it rules, that means that it's going to be blessed, okay? Whenever we have a relationship like that where Aries is in Mars, and because Aries rules Mars and they're together, it's going to make your action be magic. That's what I'm saying. So if you have Mars in Aries, you are going to be blessed with the gift of initiation. I want you to, whatever you want in this life, I want you to go after it. I don't want you to sit back and wait on the world to give it to you, because you could also be someone who inherently is a bit intimidating, okay? I want you to be someone who wakes up and goes after what you want. And I don't really want you to care about who says what or the feelings you hurt on the way there. I want you to actually be okay with being someone who is seen as a bit competitive, because quite honestly, it just shows when you have Aries and Mars that through you competing, through you being a bit aggressive, through you being even a bit selfish at times, is going to work in your favor. Now, I'm not giving free license to anyone out there to be an asshole. I'm not giving anyone out there free license to, you know, step on others' toes, but I think we all as adults know what I mean, that when I say go after what's yours, don't really consider the feelings or the opinions or the thoughts, or consider others over yourself, that when you do this, you will be very blessed, because this is the blessing that is waiting on you and that is afforded to you with Mars in Aries, okay? Now, let me know if this is resonating with you, by the way. Let me know if this is something that feels right to you, and then also let me know what the house and what the house is that your Mars and Aries is in, and I will let you know where your energy specifically can be the best utilized, all right? But yeah, this is gonna be someone who is gonna attract a lot. I really hope that I'm not missing anything, because Aries rules the body. You're gonna be very competitive, very athletic. I'm encouraging you not to be shy or to not just take the back seat and let others do things. I want you to do things, because it is when you do it that good things will happen, especially in the area of the house that it's in. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, so I will see y'all on the next video. Let me know what those are for you, and I will see you on the next one, all right? Venus in Aries, all right? Venus in Aries is gonna give me very much, I don't know why I always think about it, but it's very much Xena Warrior Princess energy. You know, it is very equally powerful, but equally beautiful, equally aggressive, equally graceful, equally, and some people may say that this is in detriment. I am not the astrologer that subscribes to detrimental placements or debilitated and all this. I respect it, I get it, I understand it, but I personally believe that the universe does not give us anything that we can't handle, and it's all about learning how to navigate the placements that we've been given. There is no negative placement in my eyes and in my heart. I bit my tongue. I truly don't believe that. I don't. It's just not something I subscribe to. But if you want to know how to navigate this placement, this is the video for you. If you want to know how to better express this placement, this is the placement for you. And yeah, so let's get into it. Now, let's go ahead and take a step back, because what I like to do is I like to separate the aspects. That way, when we see each aspect out in the world, we are better able to understand exactly what they are and see them out in reality. So when we see Aries out in the world, we can go, okay, Jupiter James told me that Aries does this. And when we see Venus out in the world, we can go, oh, okay, Venus does this. And that way, when we see each of these things out in the birth chart or manifesting out in reality or within our friends and our family, we can go ahead and decipher what they mean for different aspects and different placements to different people and different situations. That way we can articulate and learn the language of the stars, right? It's a lot like reading, right? Before we knew how to read, we had to break apart the letters. That way when we put them together in whatever combination they may come up in reality, we are able to read it. The birth chart is the same way, okay? So let's separate it. Now with Aries, Aries within the birth chart is always going to show me, for number one, the body, okay? Because Aries rules the body, the physical body. Aries rules the first house, which is the body, the appearance, but Aries also shows me where this person within the birth chart or just in general is going to be expressing their independence, all right? It is also going to show me where this person will find the most competition or where there will be a lot of war and tension within the birth chart. Wherever Aries is, this is what this will show me, all right? Now, Aries just in general in a more zoomed out lens is going to be the planet of war, of competition, of aggression. It is going to be the energy of very pioneering and initiating energy, okay? It's the energy of when someone sees something, they go after it. It's very initiating energy, okay? It is also very aggressive energy. It is also a planet that rules Mars. It is also the planet of just, again, like I said, war, okay? Now, when it comes to Venus, let's get into Venus. Venus is going to be the planet of grace, the planet of money, the planet of luxury, the planet of harmony, all right? That's the number one, harmony, okay? It is the planet of beauty. It is the planet of, you know, making things right, making things pleasant. It is also the planet of wellness, okay? So comfort, wellness, beauty, makeup, hair, just all the good and comforting things in the world, all right, or just in our lives. So anything gluttonous, you know. So what happens when we take the planet of beauty and grace and comfortability and we put it in an aggressive, initiating, warlike sign like Aries, and we put those together? We put together the archetype of Xena Warrior Princess. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but that show, but you need to watch it, because then you will understand, to be quite honest with you, what this energy is. It is equal war, equal beauty and grace. It is someone who is going to embody the archetype, in my opinion, of Xena Warrior the Princess, of someone who is going to be equally aggressive but equally graceful. They're going to be someone who wants to balance and wants to harmonize and wants to heal, and they may do it in a very aggressive manner, but it is in that aggressive manner that people will step back and go, wow, I love that person, okay? It'll be them being fiery. It'll be them being aggressive and warlike that people go, oh, that is so charming. Oh, I love that. I love when this person takes the role. I love when people with Aries and Venus takes the leadership roles. So these people will be shoo-in for leadership roles. These people will be people who fight for the underdog. These are the people who are so good at being independent, and they're so good at doing the thing that others may be scared to do because they are scared to they're scared to ruffle feathers. It will be literally in this person kind of ruffling feathers that they get the thing done and that they are received well. Understand that when you put Venus in Aries, it's gonna be someone that this person's actions and physical drive is going to be blessed. Okay, so anything regarding physicality, dancing, competitive sports, gymnastics, anything where you're taking physical athleticism and kind of putting an artistic tone to it, these people will be very blessed in that area. So that's why I say dancing, doing anything passionate is going to be very well expressed in this life. This person's appearance is gonna have the energy of, people are gonna ask this person all the time, are you a dancer? You give me the vibe of a dancer. Are you a dancer? Because their physicality is going to look very graceful. Their physical, but it's gonna look strong and graceful. Again, I'm telling you, your homework after this video is to pull up some clips of Xena Warrior Princess, okay? Because if you watch that, I know some people are out there who have Venus in Aries and they are having such a hard time within their love life. And of course, I'm gonna give you some things that you can, do to better express this energy to attract love in your life. But if you watch the show, I promise you, you will understand how this main character balanced the two so perfectly. Balanced it perfectly to the point where this person was a great hero. She was someone who was equally strong, equally beautiful, and it was the most balanced, harmonious thing on the planet. I'm quite frankly obsessed with the show because it's just such a dichotomy. It's so dynamic. That is also what these people will be. They will be extremely charming because they will be incredibly dynamic. People won't know if they are coming or going with these people. People won't know if these people are mad or upset or love them. People won't know if they should approach or if they shouldn't. And that's why with this placement, love is going to be very hard for these people because these people may feel, if you are maybe an unevolved Venus in Aries, or if your Venus in Aries is in somewhat of a difficult house, you're gonna find that it will be a little hard. But wait, before I go on to that, let me know if this is resonating with you, by the way, because I'm just behind my camera and I'm in my books and I'm in my little study sessions trying to synthesize and intuit these placements. And so let me know if this is resonating with you. Do you feel that you have a graceful warrior spirit, a very passionate spirit? Are you someone that has a beautiful appearance? Because this is gonna indicate beauty for you. It is. And if not beautiful, you at least have a beautiful body, okay? Or a beautiful way of moving through the world, all right? Let me know if this resonates with you before I go ahead and tell you, how to navigate this placement and when it comes to love. And let me also know the house that your Venus in Aries is in, and I will let you know where you should express your Venus in Aries energy to get the best results, okay? Where the universe is literally designating this energy for you that says if you do A, B, C, D, E, which I'm gonna get into, that you will find success in that area, okay? But moving forward, when you have Venus in Aries, the reason why people may say that this placement is debilitated or bad is because this is going to kind of work against what Venus is usually comfortable in, which is attracting, okay? Venus is going to be someone or an archetype or an energy that likes to sit back and attract, okay? That is because it's feminine energy, right? But when you put Venus in a masculine sign, the way that this Venus is going to be is, I am graceful, I am beautiful, but it's time to put on my armor and I want to initiate, okay? That's why I said go watch that show. Go watch that show. It will be in your initiating forces. Whatever you initiate, whatever you pioneer, whatever you jumpstart, and whatever you go after will be blessed. Okay, so that is what I want you to think, especially love, all right? Now, this is just what this is for you, and that's what people kind of get the misconception as, because they don't really understand, and it will be in your waiting for someone to come to you that you won't get anyone. You're gonna have to open the door for people. People are gonna find you very gracefully intimidating. That's the thing. People are gonna feel that you are so beautiful that it's almost intimidating, okay? Because like I said, it's giving very much beautiful warrior energy. It's like the beautiful warrior that will slice your head off, but you can't stop looking at them. So it's gonna require you to open the door and initiate that you begin to articulate and express these energies in a very harmonious way, okay? It'll be in you going, hey, I like you. Wanna go on a date? That someone go, yeah, You'll probably notice with Venus and Aries that you'll go to a club, right? And you could be at a club for 8 hours and nobody is approaching you. Nobody is coming to you. Nobody is, approaching you or penetrating your bubble, right? But then you find that you've been there for 8 hours, by the way, but you'll find that the minute you pick someone out of the crowd and say, hey, you're cute, hey, what's up? That person is like, oh, really? That you never get rejected, that you never, because like I said, it's not that you're not appealing or that you've got Venus in Aries, so that means that your love life is always in disarray. No, it just means that people are going to be intimidated by you because you're so beautiful, because even if you are not conventionally beautiful, even if you are a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. With this energy, it's literally saying that you have the power in love. Once you initiate love, once you initiate through action, that is when Venus will take over and make it harmonious. But it first requires you to act. You must act. It is in your actions that you become blessed, that you get all the beautiful things that Venus has waiting for you when it comes to money, love, what else? Even beauty. You just need to act. It's in your act. Your actions are very beautiful just in a general sense, but when you really want to get the most out of this energy, you need to initiate. With Venus in Aries, you are also going to be my people out there who loves a bit of push and pull within your relationships, a bit of passion, a little bit of war is going to be things that excite you in this life. You are going to find that you are someone who can crash and burn very quickly, especially when it comes to love. So be careful of that. You may see an object of your affection and the minute you win them over, you're bored. So this is why you're going to need a bit of a war, a little tit for tat, a little rat-ta-ta-ta, so to speak, within the partners that you go after. You are going to be someone, when it comes to love, that you're going to throw out little jabs and little side remarks, or you're going to do things to get a rise out of your partner to see where their passion is and where their power is, because it is through their passion and their power that when they are strong enough to give it back to you, that will make you go, yep, you're the one for me. Yep, oh, I can't have you the way I want you, but I can have you when I chase you. Yep, you're the one for me. This is what that will be. This is gonna be very much like, have you ever seen the show Scandal? Where it's gonna be very Olivia Pope and Fitz, where it was just the constant back and forth. It was the constant power plays. It was the constant battle and passion that kept the longevity going, okay? You're gonna be, you're gonna run the risk of being a little toxic in this life, but I think that it's all about knowing how to gauge it, knowing how to dull it, know how to dish it out, knowing what to look for. I think that really you just want a bit of excitement. You want some passion. That's all it is, okay? So my Olivia Popes and my Fitzgeralds out there, this is what this is gonna be for you when you have Venus in Aries, all right? Actions are very beautiful just in a general sense, but when you really want to get the most out of this energy, you need to initiate. You need to be someone who goes into things fearlessly and is almost someone who's like a graceful warrior, okay? This is also going to indicate, like a passionate person, okay? So you following your passions, you acting on your passions or the things you're passionate about will be very blessed. All right, so I really, really hope that this helped you and that this encouraged you. Understand that there are no bad placements within the birth chart, just placements that need a little bit more wiggle room, that need a little bit more of a conscious effort to navigate through, and it will be in your conscious navigation of said hard planet that you find out, oh, that's all I had to do was tinker a little bit. Oh, that's how I need to express that? Got it. So for those that have Venus and Aries out there, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Say it right now. What do you want to do? What are you passionate about? What do you want to be yours? Now I'm going to say, go after it. Go after it. The minute you go after it, the minute you go into it fearlessly, it will be blessed, okay? You will be well received in your aggressive spirit. You will be someone that people will go, wow, that person is so brave. I wish I could be like that. Wow, that person is just so, they always go after what they want and they make it happen, right? But it will only be a detriment to you when you sit down and you say, oh, I've got Venus in Aries. No, go out there, articulate yourself, express that energy. Go out there with the warrior-like spirit. Be the independent, beautiful warrior that is very passionate and is going and breaking barriers and, you know, fighting for the underdog, and that is just very graceful within their expression and in their fire, okay? And you're gonna be someone that is so charming and magnetic in that way, all right? Someone who's so beautiful to watch and to witness, really, all right? Go look at that show, all right? I love y'all. I will see y'all on the next video, and yeah, bye. Mercury within Aries, and within this, we're gonna go ahead and see what we can get and what we can gather and what will be a manifestation of how this planet is expressed and articulated within our birth chart, okay? So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to learn from them and recognize them out in the world individually. That way when we see Aries play out in the world, we can go, okay, Jupiter James told me Aries did this. And when we see Mercury out in the world, we can go, okay, James said Mercury does this, right? And that way when we see these things come up within our family's birth charts or our friends' birth charts, we are able to put those specific combinations together and be able to come up with our own interpretations and our own intuitions as to how those things will manifest out in the world. You know, it's a lot like reading. When you read, we first learned how to break the letters apart, and it was in the breaking down of the letters and the sounds that we were able to put them together and articulate and express them and know what they mean in different combinations out in reality, all right? The birth chart is the same way, okay? So let's get into it. Aries is going to be the sign and the archetype within the birth chart that is going to be where this person's body is showing up in life, okay? Where is this person putting energy into? Where does this person is going to find a lot of aggression in their life, especially within that area of life, depending on the house that Aries is in. And then with Aries on a more zoomed out scale, this is going to be the archetype of war, all right? Of competition, of pioneering something, initiation. It is also going to be more of the energy part of our life. Where is this person motivated, okay? Where is this person expressing their physicality out in the world, all right? So that is what Aries will show you in the birth chart and just in the zodiac in general, right? Is the planet of aggression and willpower and independence and competition and sports and just anything that has some fire to it, some gumption, some initiation, some just like let's go. That's what Aries is in our birth charts, okay? And just in the zodiac. Now, when it comes to Mercury, Mercury is the planet of thought, of mind, of articulation, of communication, of the written works, okay? Anything where it is a passing on of information between writing and speaking, this is in the mind. This is what Mercury is going to control and what it is going to rule, all right? It is also, yeah. I don't want to give away too much. Okay, so with this energy, this is going to show me that this person is going to be someone who is very busy in their life. These are people who are going to be, especially within their body, they're going to be someone who is moving around a lot within their life and just doing things and taking on a lot of information. But this is also could be someone who, when you have Mercury and Aries, who's going to be very competitive within their mind, very sharp in the mind, okay? People who want to fight when it comes to their words or debate, okay? These people can be very good debate people or people who are on a debate team or lawyers. This gives me very much like lawyer energy, right? I would see a lot of lawyers with this placement because when you've got Mercury in Aries, what are you doing? You are using your fighting spirit, your fighting forces, the war forces within the mind, and to fight and to tear down, right? So that is what you can see when you got Aries and Mercury. You can also see someone who's very quick-witted with this placement, someone who's very sharp in the mind, very brilliant in the mind. I wouldn't say brilliant. I'd say quick, okay? Because brilliance, there's a different combination for brilliance, but it could, you know, depending on who and what the signs are, it can definitely indicate brilliance, but I want to say it's more of just like it's quick. This person is sharp. Their mind is running a mile a minute. Now I want to really warn this person to look out for headaches, because this person can get a lot of headaches with this placement because their mind is always running a mile a minute, and this is where a lot of the energy will be, which will be in the mind. Now let me know if this is resonating with you, by the way, and let me know the house that your Mercury in Aries is in, because that is going to definitely change the interpretation, or just where your mental focus and mental fighting spirit will be depending on the house. But understand that wherever your Mercury in Aries is in your birth chart, this is where the universe is telling you to use your debating sharp mind, or your mind that is very quick and sharp. This is where the universe is saying use that talent, use that gift in this area, okay? And when you use it in this area, that is when your life will be better expressed. That is when things will go easier for you in that specific area, okay? Because this will be the certain superpower or talent that the universe is saying, I want you to use it. Yes, it's going to be yours to use in a general sense. You know, you can have Mercury in Aries at the grocery store, sure, but it's saying if you use Mercury in Aries in the designated place that I gave it to you at, this is where it will be the best utilized, right, and more crystallized in your life, okay? So let me know what that house is in the birth chart, and I'll write back to you where you should be using your Mercury in Aries, or where it is being used the most, okay? Because that is kind of where it'll be used the most in this area. But when you've got Mercury in Aries as well, like I said, you're going to be someone who's very busy. I also want you to be someone who is always expressing what you talk about or what you're thinking about, because that is also what you'll find when you've got Mercury in Aries, that you're going to be someone who probably is very brave with your words and with your thoughts, all right? You're not going to be someone who is going to shy away from saying what's on their mind. You're going to be like, oops, I said it, and I'll think about the consequences later. That is what this energy is really going to give, is someone who's very, very quick with their words and probably says things before they think about them, all right? Because it just needs to get out, all right? So yeah, I would say don't be shy when it comes to your words. Don't be someone who, whenever you've got Aries pointing to anything, it's indicating literally don't be shy in this era. Don't be shy in that area. It's saying when you are aggressive in this area of your life, when you are aggressive with your mind, with your thoughts, with your, you know, with your ideas, with your written works, when you are fighting within the mind and within your speech, as far as expressing yourself, it's gonna be well expressed, okay? Be brave in that area. Don't worry about kind of ruffling feathers. You may, to be honest with you, with this placement, you may run the risk of ruffling feathers with what you say and with the thoughts you give, but that is just what it is. Understand that there are no bad placements, that there are no detrimental placements. It just is what it is, you know? And I think that when we know why things happen, we can better able to sit with them and go, it is what it is, you know? But I will say that this is definitely going to be someone who's very sharp in the mind, okay? Sharp in the mind, quick with their words, can be a great debater, or someone who is using their words to fight people or fight in general, okay? So like a lawyer, someone who is very good with that, okay? So and who's also very busy. You may also within your physicality look very young, because Aries rules the body, all right? It rules your physical nature. So not only will you be busy, but you will look young and youthful, because Mercury gives a young appearance to what you're doing. Now, again, let me know if this helped you. I really do hope that it did. I hope that it gave you some clarity on what you can find when you've got Mercury in Aries. I am encouraging you to speak your mind. Speak your mind, because that will be where your energy will be best utilized in this life, okay? Be busy. Continue to be busy. I know you can't help it if you are, if you aren't, but be busy. A lot of you're also probably gonna think about your outer appearance as well, all right? But this is definitely what you can see with this placement. Let me know where your Mercury in Aries is, and I'll let you know what you could be experiencing. But without further ado, I really do hope that this helped you. I'm wishing you many blessings, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. On to Saturn in Aries, okay? And Saturn in Aries is really gonna give me the energy of someone who is learning in this life to express their inherent willpower, their power in general, okay? And this is gonna be a very sensitive topic, okay? And so if you're ready for that, let's continue forward. And before we do, let's go ahead and separate the aspects, because that's what I like to do. I like to separate the aspects. That way, when we see each individual aspect out in the world and out in birth charts, we are better able to articulate what they are and intuit what they are, no matter what the combinations that may come upon us may be. Okay, and that way when we see Aries playing out in the world, we can go, okay, Jupiter James told me that this is what Aries does. And when we see Saturn playing out in the world, we can go, okay, this is what Saturn means. And that way when we put them together, we are better able to express and understand what the birth charts are trying to show us. It's a lot like reading, you know. Now, with Aries in the birth chart, Aries is going to be the zodiac of initiation, of war, of competition, of willpower, okay? Of your might, your aggressive spirit, your body, okay? This is going to also be, Aries is gonna show me, whenever I am looking within a birth chart, it's gonna show me where this person is going to experience the most action, aggression, and angst a little bit, as far as like just some tension, as far as like the willpower, you know. There's a lot of competition here, there's a lot of energy here, okay? If I want to see where this person is showing up in the world, this is what I want to see. I want to see Aries, all right, depending on the house that it's in. Now moving on to Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn is the planet, they call him the father of time, all right? And this is the father of the zodiac. This is the great teacher, the hard teacher. Jupiter is the fun teacher. Saturn is the hard teacher, okay? It's like, this is what I want you to do in this life. Now, with that being said, Saturn is going to hold your karma, and it is going to be, we all know what a Saturn return is. And so this video is going to be really good for those that really want to learn their lessons when it comes to their Saturn return and know exactly what the universe is asking them, how to express this specific energy of Aries. And so we're going to get into that. I'm going to break all that down for you, don't worry. But this is what Saturn just individually holds. It's the planet of karma. And it'll be through you learning the lessons of Saturn that you are better to express what the sign and the house is more efficiently and more successfully, and just in your life, what you are working on. Wherever Saturn is, this is the planet within the birth chart. When I'm looking at a birth chart, that shows me, okay, what is this person here to learn? And the entirety of their life, what are they here to learn, okay? Now the house also matters, but we're not on that yet, but that is what you will find, okay? Now, what happens when we take Aries or Saturn and we put them together? What happens? This is going to be a very hard, literally physically hard placement for someone, because this is going to make for someone who the universe is really teaching this person about their actions, okay? That their actions, A, have consequences, and their lack of action has consequences. Their fighting spirit has consequences, and their lack of fighting spirit has consequences, okay? Their independence has consequences, and their lack of independence has consequences, because remember, Aries rules your independence, your independent spirit. You know, you just alone by yourself, your warlike spirit. That is what Aries will be the sign of. And when Saturn is here, it will show that it is very hard for you to articulate your will on your life, okay? Now, this can vary and change depending on the house that your Saturn in Aries is in, and I really want you to let me know what that is. Let me know in the comments below if this is already resonating with you, because this is going to be a comprehensive video. But understand that when I get into this video, I want you to synthesize the themes that I'm giving you, and whatever house that your Saturn in Aries is in, I want you to add that theme to what I'm talking about, because that is where this is going to be the lessons of within that area of life, okay? It's expressing your willpower in that area of your life, okay? Now, When you've got Saturn in Aries, you are going to be someone who the universe is going to put others, or just life in general, it's gonna put it in a way where it's gonna be hard for you to express your independent spirit, or your
please try again,
or your willpower. That is what you're gonna find here, okay? And with that being said, the universe is gonna make it so that, of course, it's not gonna make it to where you're restricted or that you can't express your willpower, but it's gonna make it be where you're gonna have to make a conscious effort to assert your will over your life, okay? That is what the lesson of Saturn in Aries is how will you assert your will over this thing that you must battle against, over this person that you must battle against. How do you become independent? How do you express your fighting spirit? How do you express your independence in that area of your life, okay? And this can be very hard. So let me give you an example. Toni Braxton had Saturn in Aries, right? And she was someone who, Saturn in Aries. Yes, Saturn in Aries. She had Saturn in Aries in I think it was her first house. I'm not sure, but she had Saturn in Aries. And what this was is that her entire life, if you look at her biopic, was situationally, relationshiply, like within her relationship, she was always learning how to say no. I want to do A, B, and C, and doing it. She may have even gotten to the point where she would say no, right? Because that is what it's gonna show. Over time, you're gonna be learning the basics of saying no, okay? Just saying no is gonna be hard for you. Saying, but I is gonna be hard for you. And if you watch the Toni Braxton biopic, or just if you read up about her story, it took her so much just to say no sometimes. And even when she would say no, she would probably still go along with it, all right? And this is what the common theme that you'll see with Saturn in Aries is that these people are learning how to not only say no and fight for their right and fight for their autonomy and fight for their independence, but to actually act on that as well. Not just to say no or fight, but to act on it, you know, to actually stand for something. That is what this placement is showing you. It's showing you how to stand for something, not just to, because these people are going to come into this life being very malleable, very just malleable, very sweet people, and they're going to be someone who is inherently sweet, but this is going to show you that you're going to have to learn how to fight. You're going to have to learn how to fight. You're going to have to learn how to pick up that sword in the name of you and what you want to do and what you want to express, and be okay with that. And you will find that when you are doing that, that people respect you, that people are respectful of your life and your mission and your goals and your dreams, the things that are every person on the planet has a rightful right to, is their own dreams and their own autonomy. You will find that when you are expressing this, that people actually applaud you, that the universe applauds you, okay? And I know that may be hard for you because you will think, oh, am I being selfish? Oh, am I being mean? Actually, no. For you specifically with Saturn and Aries, it's a good thing to learn the feeling of being selfish, to learn the feeling of hurting someone's feelings in exchange for yours, okay? This is what you're here to learn. You're here to learn what it feels like to be independent without bending over backwards for someone else. Now, you'll also notice within the Toni Braxton story that she got lupus. Okay, because Saturn rules the bones, literally the bones, right? And hers was in Aries. So think about what lupus is. Lupus is, I think it's a medical condition that attacks your bones, but it is in the attacking of the bones that she was literally not able to get out of bed. Okay, not literally able to express her willpower. So notice how it wasn't just people that may have wanted to thwart her plan or not respect her dreams or kind of make her a part of a group, even though she got better when she rebelled away from that, right? Notice how situationally, medically even, you could be someone who Saturn can express it in that way where it's like she literally had to fight every day to actually do the little things, to exert her will over her life. Her energy over her life was under Saturn in Aries. She literally not even on a spiritual scale, on a karmic scale, or relationship wise. This was literally a medical condition that attacked her willpower. She could not get out of bed. So notice how those can be some manifestations that you can see with Saturn in Aries. And I'm really encouraging you to be someone that stands for something, okay? If you have a dream, if you have something you want to do, if you are scared to do it alone, that is also what you can find with these people, is that you could be someone who needs people so much that you will not stand for something, or that you don't want to choose yourself first. And you may find that people are going to come into your life that do you wrong, or that don't consider your feelings, or don't consider your plans or your life or your willpower on what you want, right? The universe is going to express that to you so that you can say no. I matter, my dreams matter, what I want matters, what I think matters, my direction matters, what I believe matters. And if that means that y'all gotta go, or y'all don't like me, or y'all don't want to be around me, then so be it. It will literally be in what I just said right now that the universe goes, bravo. You've learned your karma. Bravo. But this, what I literally just said, may take a lifetime for these people. Hopefully by 30, this is something that this person will perfect, because remember, our karma comes around every 30 years, and we have our Saturn return on, you know, from the ages 27 to about 30. But hopefully by then, you are able to do what I just did, which is standing in your own power, able to take control of your life, be someone that battles and doesn't consider the other, all right? You are the soul literally in this life that has been given permission to be selfish. You are. You probably considered someone so much in your past life that your dreams and what you wanted were thwarted. Your dreams and your visions for your life were sacrificed. And that's why in this life, the universe has literally put it in a contingency plan and fail-safe that, look, in this life, I want you to fight against this. I am not going to, and you'll find that if you don't, things will kind of go wrong or in disarray or la la la, but you'll just find that things will be better expressed should you fight for yourself. That is, in its most boiled down, reduced version of this lesson, is fight for yourself, okay? Fight for what you want, all right? Everyone, I always say that I am someone who, I really say that as a human being, you have the right to your dreams and to your life. You have the right to that. It doesn't care what your mom wants from you, what your husband wants from you, what your friends want from you. You have the right to your life and your dreams, okay? You've only got one life. Do not squander it trying to please other people, okay? So know that I see you. I am rooting for you. Let me know what your house of Saturn and Aries is, and I will let you know what you specifically could be experiencing, and I'll expand on what I just said in this video for your specific house. But let me know what that is, and know that I'm rooting for you. I'm giving you some initiative, pioneering, warlike spirit and energy so that you can get out there and fight for yourself and your dreams, okay? I love you. I'm wishing you all the best, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. This is going to be what you can experience when you have natally Jupiter in Aries, or Aries and Jupiter, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a step back, because this energy is really gonna give me very much the energy of someone who is out to be a teacher, especially like someone who is leading by example. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to understand and better able to recognize when these things play out individually out in life, okay? That way, when we see Aries playing out in the universe and out in the world, we can go, okay, that's very much Aries energy. And when we see Jupiter playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving Jupiterian energy, all right? So now let's break those two things down. Now with Aries in the zodiac and within the birth chart is always going to show me the body of a person, okay? Where is this person's physicality being used the most? Where is this person showing up in the world the most, all right? This is also going to show me the energy of the person. This is also going to show me where this person will experience the most competition and will exude their competitive spirit. This is going to show me where the competition is in a person's life, okay? Aries is going to express that, all right? Now, with that being said, Aries is also going to show me the independent spirit or the pioneering spirit of a person, because that's what Aries rules. Aries rules war, initiation, things of this nature, all right? And depending on where Aries is in the birth chart, it will show me where those themes will be expressed the most successfully, okay? Now, moving on to, what is it, Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefic in our birth chart. This is the benevolent planet. This is the planet of abundance, of luck, of expansion, all right? So all good things that we want in our lives as far as growing bigger and success and abundance and just opening our lives up to better, this is what Jupiter will hold. Now, Jupiter also takes on a spiritual tone and also a bit of a teachy or preachy flair. Wherever Jupiter is, this is where the person will be getting their TD Jakes on, where they will be getting their preach on, okay? Where this person will have such an adept wealth of kind of knowledge of that area that they will seek to teach in that area, or where they can teach others about that area of life, okay? Whether it be the house that Jupiter is in or the sign that Jupiter is in, okay? So what happens when we put Jupiter in Aries? This person, like I said, is going to be someone who, through their actions, they create abundance, okay? These people are going to be highly competitive, all right? And this will happen without them knowing. This will be something that they don't even are thinking about. Like, they're not consciously waking up and being like, yeah, I'm a force to be reckoned with. They're not thinking that. They're not someone who's like, yeah, I'm the best. No, this is what will be just in their actions and in their movements. They will exude someone who wants to lead and teach by example, okay? It is in their actions that they will teach people how to go after things. They will want to always talk about, this is how you do it. This is how you deal with life. You get up, you go, and you do this, and you do that. And this is what this person will be. This person will always be someone who is lucky when they choose themselves. Because remember, Aries is the body. It's you, your willpower. These people will not only get luck when they choose themselves and are focusing on themselves and expressing their inherent willpower, but they will be someone who can teach others how to act upon things in that way, all right? So these people will be very great motivational speakers. These people will be very great like police officers or just downright teachers in general. They're gonna have a lot of energy within teaching people, okay? Let me know if this is resonating with you so far, because you know I'm behind my camera and when I'm not on camera, I am in my books and on my, you know, just always researching things, and I like to see how these things play out in reality. But let me know if this is resonating with you, and while you're at it, could you let me know what the house your Jupiter and Aries is in, and I will let you know what you could be experiencing with that specific placement, okay? Because these things can vary and change depending on what house it is in. But just know, listen to me, just know that wherever house Jupiter and Aries is in for you, know that this is where the universe is saying that when you act on this area of your life will expand, but it will require you to initiate. You can't sit back in that area. Remember that it is in your actions that you will be blessed, that you will be granted abundance, because Aries rules action. It requires you putting one foot in front of the other towards that certain theme or energy or house, okay? And it is when you do that that Jupiter will activate and open that area of your life. And that's why I say these people are gonna be very blessed and very lucky, because literally everything they do turns to gold. Literally everything they do is going to be something that people can sit back and go, wow, okay, that person did this, that person did that, and this happened, and they will be someone who can really teach by example. Just their story of how they did it is going to be something that people can write down a story about and learn from, if that makes sense, okay? And these people will want to talk about that. You know, these are the people that they'll have people sit at their feet and go, you know, I did this and I did that and this is how you do that, and they'll always have it'll have a spiritual tone to it. You know, there'll be someone that can talk about how they got up and went to go get a coffee, but the way they are articulating it is going to have a spiritual or wise tone to it. all right? But these are the people who also are going to be very larger than life. You can also run the risk of kind of being a little selfish, because it's kind of like a perpetual cycle type of deal, where it's like you have probably realized that over the course of your life that by being selfish and considering yourself, you get lucky, but then you may also get the negative effects of that, that by always choosing yourself, people can kind of see you as selfish, or that you're just so wildly independent. But you understand that it isn't in your wild independence that you get the good things in life, that you become blessed. So these are people that you can see that are sometimes a bit loners. These are the popular loners. You know, these are the people who are okay and solid on their own. They don't really need people, because they have found that in them doing their own thing, they get blessed, they get lucky, they get, in them choosing themselves, their life runs smoother. All right, these are very good teachers. I know someone who has Jupiter in Aries, and they can sometimes, listen, because this is a video for educational purposes, and I would be remiss, it would be a remiss on me to get up on this camera and only give you the good things. Honestly, like, if we want to be great astrologers, if we want to be well-rounded humans, we got to recognize our pitfalls, our potentials, and our blessings, okay? Not just the good things. So with this being said, I know people who can be too competitive with this placement, okay? You can run the risk of being too competitive, too selfish, too boisterous, when you are teaching someone, it's like, yes, what you're saying may be correct, but it's like you could run the risk of being someone who, it's like, do you need to beat me to teach me? It's like that. Do you need to like cut me in order for me to learn? It can be very that, where in your need and in your want to teach and maybe to help and to pass on wisdom, you may hurt feelings, or you may say very mean things, or do very mean things, even though you mean well, right? So I want you to recognize that that may be some of the pitfalls that may be given to you as a part of the opposite side of the coin of the blessings of this placement, okay? So this is what you can experience with this placement. I want you to always choose yourself. I want you to continue to go after what you want, because remember, it is in your actions that you open up your life. You, over the course of your life, if you look back on your life, you will understand that through every trial and tribulation, the minute that you initiated, your life opened up. All right? You are literally the people that your road will be blessed. The road that you are on, the race that you are running will be blessed. It will be in you fighting, and in you being competitive, and in you kind of choosing yourself, that good things happen, okay? But I do know that you will be someone that means well. I do know that inherently, okay? So I really do hope that this video helped you. Remember, let me know the house that is in. I really do hope that this brought light and clarity to your situation, to your placement, and continue to be your initiative, brave, confident, and courageous self, because it is in that all the good things in life will be afforded to you, all right? I will see you on the next video. Bye. When you have Sun in Aries, this is gonna make you an Aries Sun. And what this is gonna show is that you are going to be someone who your energy, your vitality, who you are is at best expressed when you are going after what you want, when you are doing what you want. You are gonna be someone who is not meant to consider other people's feelings. You are the people who are not meant to consider others before yourself. You may run the risk of being selfish when you have Sun in Aries, okay? And now, depending on where the house is, this will show what that will be for you. Let me know what your house is for your Aries Sun, and I will let you know where this type of competitive, independent spirit is. But you are also someone who will have a lot of fire. You know, Aries Suns, Aries is the first zodiac sign. I call it baby fire, because this is the first incarnation within our zodiac where the soul is harnessing fire. And so fire, when you don't know how to harness it, is gonna come off strong. It's gonna come off a little abrasive. It's gonna come off a little like, ouch, that burn. Did you just do that? Like, and you're gonna be thinking like, why is everybody so sensitive? Like, I didn't even do anything. Like, I'm just focused on myself, and I'm just trying to go after my dreams, and everyone's always getting upset with me. And it'll be because on your blazing trail to get what you want, you're gonna break a few eggs, you're gonna break a few hearts, you're gonna hurt a few feelings, and it's gonna be somewhat unintentional, because like I said, the signs that we are the signs that we are. There is no bad, there is no like, you know, there is no bad. So it's just like, these are just the repercussions of being an Aries sun, is that people are just gonna be upset with you. And I think that that is you being pure baby fire, you being someone who is meant to wield the expression of harnessing fire. These are just the repercussions and the par for course, so to speak. These are the casualties of war, basically, when it comes to being an Aries sun, is that, and you're gonna have to learn that there are gonna be casualties that are going to be in your way, that you're gonna blaze over. And sometimes you may have to go, oh, I'm sorry, I did not mean it that way. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not mean to come off that way, but that's just how I am. I see something, I go after it. I see something, I want it, I go get it. Like, I didn't consider that you were hungry as well, because I was just thinking about myself. Sorry. Like, so this is what that's gonna be, okay? But I want you to continue to be that way, because the universe wouldn't put your sun in Aries if you weren't supposed to be that way. You are someone who's probably the best expressed when you are carrying your life out in this type of manner, okay? So continue to be who you are, continue to be your competitive, confident, independent spirit that you are meant to be, and, you know, try your best not to break a few hearts or to break a few legs on the way there, but this is what it is, all right? So that is what will be for you when you have sun in Aries. Let me know the house that your sun is Aries in, and I will let you know where your life will be best expressed to exude that personality of that warlike spirit, okay? But I'm rooting for you, all right? All right, bye. With Chiron in Aries, you are going to be someone who in this life, you are going to come with the spiritual wound, or you're going to inherit the spiritual wound of someone who needs to learn how to access their independence, their willpower, and their strength. Okay, you are here in this life that probably encourages others to be a go-getter, encourages others to put on their competitive spirit and be strong and be warlike and be independent. But when it comes to yourself, you may shy away from that. You may not give yourself the same grace. And so in this life, this wound, if you look at what the symbol of Chiron is, it is in the shape of a key. And if you are privy to astrology, you understand that also the North Node is in the shape of a horseshoe, but I like to call it a little door. And if you use that key of Chiron and battle against it and use it, you unlock that key to your destiny, okay? So it will be in you exuding your independence, in you getting out there and going after exactly what you want, in you being independent and a bit competitive and being solid and confident and exuding your fire, that all the best things in life are afforded to you, okay? So along with all the other placements within your chart, understand that your Chiron holds the key to your destiny, and for a long time, you will be comfortable giving this power away to others. You will be comfortable encouraging others in that area of life that you are not so well versed in. So you will be people that admire strong people. You will be people who probably dream of being very competitive or being very athletic, but you don't want to do what it takes to be fiery or to fight for what you believe in, or do the thing that may hurt other people's feelings in exchange for your own autonomy and your own confidence and what you want. You know, you could be a very giving person. That's a beautiful thing, but life requires balance. And in this life, understand that the universe wouldn't put Chiron in Aries if it didn't want you to cultivate your selfishness, if it didn't want you to build your independent spirit, if it didn't want you to know the feeling of what it feels like to choose yourself, okay? So that is what you'll see with this placement. Now, I have a line of Chiron healing teas, I like to call them, and what they are specific herbs that are geared to certain Chiron placements within our birth charts to help us emit the qualities that we are lacking so that we can be best expressed in this life, okay? Hopefully, by the time this video is up, I will have it linked in my shop what the teas are, but if not, just go ahead and email me and say that you're interested in the Chiron healing tea, and I will pull some herbs together for your specific Chiron placement, and I will get that tea over to you, because these teas are highly encouraging, they're highly soothing, and they're highly spiritually healing, especially for your specific Chiron wound. And I just want all of us out there to be expressing our best selves so that we get to the thing that we are here to get to, all right? So let me know if this helped you in general. Let me know if you learned a lot from your Chiron and Aries wound, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. If you have Uranus in Aries, this is gonna make for a very striking person who within their body and their appearance can be very striking, within your movements can be very striking and different, all right? You may be someone who likes to rebel, who likes to go in a different direction, who likes to emit their power in a very intellectual way, a very striking way, a very avant-garde way. Your movements and what you do in this life are gonna confuse people. People are not gonna really understand what you are talking about or what in the direction you're moving in. People are just not gonna get your moves, okay? And it could be because you've got insight into something that others do not have a privy to, okay? You're gonna be moving in a direction in life where people just don't get it, all right? And that's okay. You're gonna need to own that. And I'm probably sure that if you have Uranus in Aries, you are gonna be someone who, depending on the house that it's in, because that will count, but I do know on a more general sense, you're gonna be someone who is really just emitting a different kind of movement, a different kind of way. You're like, look, while y'all going left, I'm gonna go right, all right? Or while y'all going right, I'm gonna go left. But you are gonna be someone who is meant to, especially within your body, understand that you're gonna wanna do things differently. Know that Aries is the ruler of war, right? And Uranus is the planet of just difference and just doing things differently, all right? So this is what you're gonna see here with this placement when you have Uranus in Aries, all right? So let me know the house that Uranus in Aries is in. I will let you know what you could be experiencing with that, but this is gonna be someone who is meant to own their striking way of thinking. You're probably gonna be with your thinking very striking, like what you say is not only gonna be striking, but it may be offensive sometimes, or it may be very like, it may cut or bruise people as you say it. And you're like, oh well, it's not my fault you're stupid. Like, oh well, it's not my fault you're boring and mainstream. Like, oh well, like that's what it's gonna be very much of. It's just very like, it's gonna be equal parts war and equal parts intellectually very adept and forward thinking, very conventional. You could be people who lead the trends. That's gonna be very something that I see with this, is people who are first. You're gonna love being first and you're gonna love being right at the same time when you have Uranus and Aries, very much so. So let me know the house that your Uranus and Aries is in, and I will let you know where that type of theme and where that type of spirit can be emitted, or where you will be exuding these type of qualities in, okay? But this is gonna be a very, very, very different type of person, all right? Especially within their appearance and in what they say, all right? So I will see you on the next video. Bye. With Neptune in Aries, you are going to be someone whose actions are going towards spirituality. Now, before we go ahead and really dive deep into that very spiritual and very sometimes confusing placement, let's go ahead and break it apart. That way we are able to understand these things out in reality as they play out in different areas of our life. That way when we see Aries playing out in the real world, we go, okay, James told me that Aries is doing this. And when we see Neptune playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving very much Neptunian energy, okay? So now, Aries in the zodiac is going to be the archetype and the zodiac of war, of initiative, of going after what you want, of independence, of confidence, doing things on your own. Competition is going to be very prevalent here within this archetype of the zodiac, and it's going to be ruled by Mars. It's going to be giving a very Martian effect. If I ever in the zodiac want to see where this person's energy is and where this person's physicality is, their physical body, where they're showing up in life the most, I look to the Aries, okay? So that is what Aries will hold within the birth chart. Now with Neptune, Neptune is going to be a very dreamy, very mystical planet, okay? It's going to be sometimes so high on an octave of mystique and spirituality that sometimes if you are not spiritually equipped, it's going to be received or perceived as confusion. Okay, that is what this is that it's going to be such a high octave that usually wherever Neptune is it gives a much like, huh? It gives something that you can't quite access. It's very aloof, it's very muddled, very dreamy, very foggy, okay? It gives a sense of illusion, all right? So that is what Neptune holds. It holds mystique, fantasy, illusion, and just something that you can't quite access because you don't quite have the answers yet. You're not quite equipped to understand yet, you know? It also holds your creative forces. It holds your spiritual forces as well, all right? So what happens when you take Neptune and we throw it into Aries? This is gonna make for someone whose initiative is going to be within the creative and spiritual realms, okay? You are gonna be someone who's taking much action, much gumption, and much initiative towards spirituality or creativity. Now, to the outside world, people may not understand your movements, okay? They may not understand your motivations. People will sometimes put a question mark around what you're doing or how you're doing it because people may not understand it. Remember, Aries is the sign of action. So to the outside world, or even sometimes to yourself, you may not understand which direction to go in. All right. I do know that this could also give you somewhat of a passionate, creative quality to yourself, like a dancer, right? Or some type of artist as well. This is what you can see with this placement, or even a preacher, someone who is very, very mystical, someone who is diving into the mystical arts, someone who's interested in that, and they are probably, in your outer appearance could be this way as well. Your outer appearance could be that of being very either elusive or a little bit creative or spiritual within your outer appearance. You may carry that aura around you with your appearance. Now, depending on the house that's in, this could vary and change. So let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you are putting a lot of action towards your creative abilities and to your passions, because it will be through that you actually use this energy in the best way. All right. So, and that also, when you use your actions towards something creative, people may not, it'll lessen the effects of people thinking that you are confusing or a liar or elusive, okay? Because the energy will be better expressed. You may also run the risk of, again, not knowing where you're going or why you're doing it, or even what your motivations are, because when you're putting Neptune in a sign that is meant to rule your motivations and your actions and your energy and your vitality, you may be confused and you don't know, should you go here or should you go there? Should I run today or should I sit down? I don't know. This can be very that. So let me know the house that your Neptune in Aries is in, and I will let you know what you could be experiencing. But I'm really, really suggesting and letting you know to dive into your spirituality, dive into something creative, all right? Try to pray, try to devote a lot of your energy to something healing and mystical and creative. And when you do that, you will limit and lessen the mundane effects of confusion or being seen as a liar or being seen as someone who, you know, is holding up an air of illusion, because people can see that of you or think that of you if you are not directing the energy in the appropriate areas, okay? So let me know that house that it's in. But yeah, I really do hope that this helped you. Bye. When you have the South Node in Aries, you are going to be someone who in this life is meant to relinquish your independence of some kind, okay? To relinquish your competitive spirit of some kind. But before we go ahead and get into that, let's go ahead and dissect the placement. That way we are better able to understand these placements in their individuality and in their separateness. And when we see them play out in the world, we are better able to articulate them and understand what they mean in different charts and different areas of life, okay? That way when we see Aries out in the world, we can go, okay, James told me that Aries does ABC. And when we see, when we see the South Node out in the world, we can go, okay, the South Node holds this quality and it does this and it does that, right? So now, then when we are able to put them together, we are able to come up with our own interpretations, our own intuitive knowings of what these things mean when we see them in different combinations in the chart, in other people's charts, and just in life in general, okay? So Aries is always gonna be the archetype and the zodiac sign of aggression and war and confidence and being someone who's a pioneer, being the energy of aggression and just going after something, a lot of energy. If I want to see where a person's energy is in the life, I will look for Aries, okay? I also, if I want to see the appearance of a person, if I want to see where this person's physical body is showing up in the world, I will search for where Aries is in the house, okay? What house is Aries in? Where's their physical body showing up the most? Are they showing up in their career most? Are they showing up at home most? Are they showing up with friends the most? Because Aries will show me where the physical body is and where, when they put themselves in that theme of life, where they will be the best utilized and the best expressed, okay? So that is what Aries holds in the zodiac. Now, with the South Node is the other end of the North Node. Node, and the South Node holds your spiritual gift that you inherited from a past life due to what you did and mastered in a past life, okay? So you are going to be with the South Node, the energy, you're gonna come into this life already exuding those things, and you may get certain gifts depending on the house that the South Node is in, all right? You may get external gifts or external ease wherever the South Node is in, all right? Whether it be in your personality or just in your circumstance. Now, wherever the South Node is in, I always like to say that it will give a spiritual tone to whatever sign or house that the South Node is in, because remember, it is a spiritual gift. It is a gift from the universe because you mastered it in a past life. It will give a spiritual quality to the essence wherever the house and sign that the South Node is in, okay? But with all this good stuff that the South Node holds, it is also something that you are not meant to fall back on or find comfort in. You are actually going to be someone who's meant to relinquish these things and let go of these things in exchange for going after your now present destiny, which is the North Node. But it's very important to know our South Node so that we know the energy to go away from. When we know what is no longer for us, we know where we're supposed to go, okay? And that is why it's significant to know what your South Node is, so that you know your past life, you know your inherent gift, and you know what you're not meant to fall into. You're meant to go away from the South Node. You're meant to go in the other direction, okay? So when you have the South Node in Aries, you are going to be someone who is meant to relinquish your independence. In a past life, you were someone who was so solid on your own. You probably won every war. You were someone who was so competitive. You were probably someone who was so confident, and you did not care about the hearts you broke or the feet you stepped on to get what you want. You were the soldier. You mastered the energy of war and independence and autonomy in a past life, okay? And so in this life, you will come into this life being someone who is solid on your own. You're gonna walk around and you're gonna wonder why everybody's talking about love or why everybody needs other people's approval. You're gonna wonder why everybody's always other people, right? You're always gonna wonder, why is everyone so obsessed with being together with other people? But at the same time, this will hold a spiritual quality for you. Your body, who you are, you're gonna have a very spiritual essence to your personality and who you are, your physical body, okay? And you may find that you also become someone in this life where you don't need to fight anymore. You're gonna be someone you allow your battles to be fought on a spiritual level, that when you sit back and you're humble and you relinquish your fighting spirit, the universe takes over, okay? These are the people you don't want to mess with, because the karma comes back on whoever's trying to come for a South Node in Aries, okay? So, but at the same time, you are going to be someone who is meant to say, all right, I know I'm confident, I know that I'm okay on my own, but I need to go mingle with others. I need to get out there and be social. I need to go out and let people know and see who this glorious spirit it is, you know, because you're gonna have a glorious personality about you, a very ethereal way about you. You may wanna even help. These are the people who are meant to help others. You're meant to take the strong part of you that you naturally have, the strong, confident forces that you have, and use that as a way to help and assist and fight for others, you know, to use that warrior-like spirit that you use for yourself, and now use that in a direction where you're going out to break new ground within the social sector or with others or within a relationship or things like that, okay? So this is what you'll see when you have South Node in Aries, all right? So I really do hope that that helped you. Let me know the house that your South Node is Aries in, and that will give you more detail what you could be experiencing with your South Node in Aries and where you are meant to go away from. But it'll also show me what your gifts are and what you've been blessed with in this life and where you find ease and comfort. Where these things, you don't even have to think about them and they just happen. Wherever house that your South Node in Aries in, it'll show me those things. So let me know what they are. I really do hope that this helped you. I'm encouraging you to get out there, to take your warrior spirit and that adventurous confidence way that you have and go and make a mission out of breaking new ground within the social sector, within love, within out in the public, things like this, okay? But yes, I will see you on the next video. Bye. With North Node in Aries, this is gonna give me very much an aggressive person who is on a mission of building confidence, their own autonomy, and their independence. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and dissect the placement. That way we are able to see these things out in reality, whatever combination they may appear in, okay? That way when we see Aries play out in the world or in other people's charts, we can go, okay, James told me that Aries does this. And when we see the North Node play out in the world, we can go, okay, James told me that the North Node does this. The North Node of Destiny does this, right? So when it comes to Aries, Aries is the archetype or the theme and the energy of the body, okay? This is also the energy of the warlike spirit, where this person will experience the most competitiveness, where this person is competitive in that area of life, where this person will seek or sense a bit of competition or aggression towards others, or others towards them, either one. And it'll also show where this person will be, you know, where a lot of their vitality and their strength will show, where their prowess will kind of show, all right? And so this is what you will see with Aries. If I, as an astrologer, want to see where a person's body is being physically present in the most in life, I look for the Aries, because remember, Aries rules the body. So if I want to see if they are always showing up in their career, if they are always, their physical body, who they are is always at home, if they are always with their friends, this is what Aries will show. It shows me where you show up in life the most, okay? Or where, if you show up in that area of life, you will be the best utilized, okay? So that is what you'll see with Aries and what the themes of the Aries zodiac is. Now, when it comes to the what is it? The North Node. The North Node is the North Node of Destiny. This holds our destiny, and this holds the energy that we are meant to grow into and move towards in this life. A lot of people think that, oh, we were just born with these things, and they always write to me and they're like, but I don't feel like that. I'm not. Yes, I know. That's why you're here, to learn these things, to cultivate this type of energy within this life. Okay, you are literally, with this certain sign, you are the avatar bender who is learning how to wield fire when you got North Node in Aries. Okay, I'm not saying you're literally the avatar, but I'm using that analogy that you are gonna be someone in this life who is learning over the course of your life to cultivate your independence, your fiery spirit. You're gonna be someone who's learning how to fight. Okay, because when you have North Node in Aries, you are going to be someone who is learning how to emit your will on the world, your will over your life. What do you want? Okay, now that you want it, let's use the energy within you to go and get it. You are going to be someone who is learning the art of competitiveness, who is learning how to be a competitive force and a driving force within your life. You are also learning how to be selfish. Now, if I know anything, if the universe be universin, like it be universin, I know you are going to be the sweetest person on the planet. You are going to be someone who is so giving to others. You are going to be someone who considers others before yourself. You are going to be someone who's like, let me help you get your dreams before you get mine. And I'm letting you know right now, in this life, you're going to need to relinquish that. You're going to need to let that go. You are going to need to learn in this life how to fight. Okay, people and situations and things in your life are going to come in your territory and do things that force you to fight for yourself, that force you to put yourself forward, that force you to say, move out of my way and consider me. Okay, so this is what you're here to do. And I know you may be cringing like now, like, no way, I don't want to fight. I want to be nice. No. You will be nice once you go after you get your goals, okay? Once you go get your dreams and you put your will in the world and you get up and you go after what's yours, that's when your life will take shape. That's where you will be the best expressed and the best utilized, okay? So you are learning in this life how to build your independence, your confidence, and your fighting spirit to choose you first. Okay, let me know the house that your North Node is in, and I will let you know where this energy is going to be best expressed in, or where the universe wants you to direct that independent fighting spirit into and that competitive streak in that area of life, all right? But yes, get out there, okay? Be aggressive, go after what's yours and go after what you want. Don't consider others. For you specifically, it is not selfish, it's your birthright, okay? The universe knows how giving you are. The universe knows how altruistic you are. I really do hope altruistic means what I think it means. You're very giving. You're someone who is out there But in this life, the universe is saying, my dear soul, you are so giving, and you have been so giving in a past life, that now you get to choose you, all right? That is what this energy is saying. It's to choose you when you got North Node in Aries, all right? So I really do hope that that helped you, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Now, with Pluto in Aries, this is gonna give me very much, you know, aggressive, forceful, transformational energy. Someone who transforms through their movements, you know, transforms others through their movements. Someone who leads others, you know. Pluto in the zodiac is going to be that great transformer. It is going to be the planet, and you know, it is a generational planet, so only a few people out there will really resonate with this and will have this placement. But for those that do have Pluto in Aries, you're gonna find that you are gonna be a force to be reckoned with. You're gonna hold a lot of power within your body and within who you are. You may be someone who has control issues or will be very impatient, because you will be someone, like I said, who will be very, very competitive. You know, I feel like Pluto would like to be in Aries because by proxy, it's gonna kind of be a Mars-driven sign or energy, and Mars likes to be in Pluto. Pluto likes to be around Mars, you know, because they are within relation to each other. So with that being said, this is gonna make you someone who, like I said, your movements are going to be extremely influential. You are gonna be someone who is a force to be reckoned with. That is the key word for this placement. A force to be reckoned with. Now, of course, depending on the house that your Pluto in Aries is in, this will vary and change where you will be a force to be reckoned with. But I do know that because Aries rules the physical body, it rules the physical appearance and just your actions, your will, it's gonna make for someone who could have a lot of behind the scenes energy. You know, someone who is really, really doing things and has a lot of power and influence, but maybe people don't really see that in an outward sense. You could be someone that's pulling strings behind closed doors. You could be someone that's doing things in a not show-stopping way, or something that's out in the forefront. You could be someone that is doing things in a very almost scorpionic way, you know, a very plutonic way, Plutonic, you know? So this is what you can see here with Aries or Pluto in Aries. You know, Pluto in Aries, you're gonna be a great, great transformer. And you may transform a lot over time, and you may have to deal with a lot of competition, a lot of secret haters, a lot of secret competition, a lot of secret competitors, you know, competitors that are in high positions of power, high, you know, places, and that is because you will be the one to contend with. You will have that personal magnetism and that personal kind of raw power about you, that you're not just gonna go toe to toe with the little people. You're gonna be going toe to toe with like the big ones, you know? So these are people who are very, very transformative within their movements. Let me know if this resonates for you. Let me know if you are someone that has great leadership qualities, that is someone who can move to high positions in life. You know, I really am curious about what house your Pluto in Aries is in, because that would help me narrow that down for you. Let me know what house your Pluto in Aries is in, and I will let you know what exactly you could be experiencing. But I do know you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, okay? Yeah, I really do hope that that helped you, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.